the Minnesota Vikings ended up not franchise tagging Sam Darnold. Ian Rappaport reports that both sides would still like to work something out. And I don't believe that from the Vikings side, because if you did want to come up with a deal for Sam Darnold for 2025 and beyond, you would have franchise tagged him to at least maintain control and buy yourself time to work out a contract extension. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. They weren't going to give T. Higgins any shot of hitting the open market because they know how great he is. They ended up franchise tagging him for the second straight year. Why? To either buy themselves more time for an extension or maintain leverage, having the control over T. Higgins so that you can eventually trade him and get assets for him instead of letting him walk away for nothing. There was talk and speculation that maybe the Vikings would look to tag Sam Darnold in order to facilitate a tag and trade, but either way, it didn't go down. Sam Darnold is going to be an unrestricted free agent, and now that Matthew Stafford is out the picture, working it out with the Rams, he's going to stay in Los Angeles. Sam Darnold is the official QB1 of this offseason. I don't think he's going to return to Minnesota. As mentioned before, they didn't tag him to maintain control, but also they used a top 10 pick last year on JJ McCarthy. Darnold is going to be looking for a multi-year, $100+ million contract. If the Vikings were to go that route, it would make the draft of JJ McCarthy utterly useless. But for Sam Darnold, his first 6 years carrying the bust label, year 7, he flips the script, over 4,300 yards passing and 35 touchdowns. Sam Darnold in 2024, objectively speaking, was a top 5 quarterback in football. And if you anticipate that you will be unable to land Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders in the draft, you're still finding yourselves to be a QB needy team, you're desperate, you want to make it right, Sam Darnold is the best option for you. Now, with that said, the important thing with Darnold is coaching. It's not a coincidence that he came over to Minnesota and all of a sudden flourished. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach for the Vikings, as well as QB coach Josh McCown, played a huge role in his success. You need to have the right foundation of coaching if you are going to land Sam Darnold. Otherwise, you run the risk of, all right, 2024 was the right place, right time for him, only for him to revert back to the bust that he was on his new team post Minnesota. He could also, on the other side, he could be the next quarterback to have a resurgence in his career, to the likes of Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith. So it will be really interesting to see if he can continue his success in 2025 and that 2024 wasn't just a one-off. Teams that make sense in going after Sam Darnold, we're going to start with the Las Vegas Raiders. They have the second most cap space available in the league. Head coach Pete Carroll, he's an energetic, spry culture guy, which is exactly what Sam Darnold needs because, hey, we're all human here. If during the first 6 years of your professional career, you've been labeled as a failure, eventually it's going to get to you to where once in a while you might need a pat on the back, whether it's from yourself or from somebody else. He got that pat on the back from Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell in 2024. I believe he's going to need that going to his next team, and Pete Carroll is the perfect guy for that. Add on top of that, their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, an elite offensive mind. So not only would he get the proper support and encouragement in Vegas, he would also get a mind that you can trust calling plays on the offensive side of the ball. He'll be in good hands with the Vegas Raiders. They also have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. Pick number 6, you got to think they're going after Ashton Genty, right? I would think so. But pair him with Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, go after a wide receiver. You'll still have money left over in free agency even after signing Sam Darnold. Make an upgrade with the offensive line. Sam Darnold to the Raiders makes the most sense, and I think it would be the best move for his career. They could be nice next year. And going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I get the sense that the Steelers want to finally get over the hump at quarterback once and for all. Since Big Ben, they've experimented with Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson, and safe to say, after witnessing Wilson and his performance firsthand in 2024, it's highly unlikely that the Steelers bring him back. Justin Fields, you could bring him back. He knows the system, and we always hear about, okay, it's the right circumstance. In Chicago, that's a dumpster fire of an organization. Look what he did before he got benched for Russell Wilson. We could bring him back, though I would say for an entirety of a season, would he be able to be that guy? There's still question marks on Justin Fields. So for a team that I think is finally done with experimenting at quarterbacks, I would say that expecting Justin Fields to be that guy for a whole season is at the same time still experimenting at the quarterback position. Look what Sam Darnold did last year for a whole year. My God, all the way off he went. Top 5 quarterback in the league. We want that. They already got the defense. Upgrade a few other spots on the offensive side of the ball. Emeka Egbuka, for example, at pick 21 to pair with George Pickens. You've got Pat Freiermuth at tight end. Draft the running back. They could also use some help on the offensive line. With the Browns being a mess, the Bengals needing a ton of work to do, the Steelers could legit become a real threat to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. The Titans, and I purposely meant to say it like this, the Titans with a question mark next to it because reports have connected Sam Darnold to Tennessee, which makes absolutely zero sense. You have the first overall pick. What are we doing here? Why are we even talking? Why are reports connecting Sam Darnold to the Tennessee Titans? I get that collectively speaking, this is not a great draft class in terms of quarterbacks, but the top 2 prospects at that position are really, really good. Do the smart thing. Don't be dumb. Take advantage of that new quarterback on a rookie deal and build up the rest of the roster. You can make splashes in free agency. You have around $50 million this year to spend. You'll have over $100 million next year to spend, and you can also add talent through the draft. But to pass on Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders to sign Sam Darnold to a multi-year $100 million plus contract would be dumb. It would be the dumbest thing ever for a team that's multiple years away from being a threat, a real contender. And going to the New York Giants, Joe Shane, the general manager, is under immense pressure. How has he not been fired? Choosing Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, gifted their division rival a Super Bowl championship by letting Saquon walk to the Philadelphia Eagles. He's been a disaster. 2025 has to be it. The clock has to be ticking to where you must find the franchise quarterback this offseason. That's it. If not, your ass is grass. I don't see the Titans or the Browns trading away picks 1 and 2 that you're going to have to look in free agency. They are connected to Aaron Rodgers. If that doesn't work out, I can see them getting extra aggressive for Sam Darnold. With the Giants, this offseason, the desperation is real. And lastly, I want to give an honorable mention to the Indianapolis Colts because it would make a ton of sense if they brought in Sam Darnold. They are a quarterback away from challenging the Houston Texans for the AFC South division. Anthony Richardson, he's not it. In fact, before the 2023 draft, I said, listen, man, I get it. On my main channel, Realistic Randy, where I cover the Minnesota Vikings, I said, I get it. The athleticism is off the charts and think about all the possibilities, but he's not a good quarterback. He's just not. And so far, 2 years in the league, he's not a good quarterback. I sense that the Colts want to give him one last chance, that bringing in a new quarterback, it would just be for purely quarterback competition. So a much cheaper quarterback than Sam Darnold. You bring in Sam Darnold, you're saying the jig is up. Anthony Richardson, we're done with you. I don't think they're quite ready to say that yet, that if anything, they will bring in a guy like Daniel Jones for $10 or $15 million on 1 year. Have a legit quarterback competition, and whoever wins during training camp, mini camp, in the preseason, that's going to be the guy for the Colts in 2025. If they were smart, they'd wash their hands of it now, but whatever. Sam Darnold is going to be really interesting to see where he lands. I don't think he comes back to Minnesota. I've got 3 teams: the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Giants. We'll see.